Hey there. Hey,
Hello.
hey, everyone.
Welcome to Awkward Channeling.
Yep, we are very awkward today. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mercury.
we're having weird days. I think everybody's kind of having weird days.
All right.
Um, I decided to remodel my room this morning, so I'm like in that mode. So,
All right.
anyhow, welcome to Awkward Channeling. We are talking about what's happening when we can't hear our guides.
Right.
And I left off the S, but
Well,
what's happening when we can't hear our guides? And our answer really is so many things.
yes. And half of them I have dealt with myself.
Well, yeah, we all, and
Absolutely.
that's the thing. Like, if you're kind of getting communication in one way or another for a while, and then all of a sudden you're not, okay, you gotta look at yourself. Where am I at? What am I
Right.
doing? That kind of thing. Um, I don't know. We didn't really talk about where to start with this, but I'm thinking, like, understanding that our guides are always with us. They're always communicating with us, whether we know it or not.
Right.
And it isn't like they're just going to fly in and look like a person to have a conversation.
No, no.
Not how it works. It's hints. It's it's
Little subtle things a lot of times,
so
and
sometimes it's really subtle signs. Sometimes it's
yeah,
thoughts that just pop into your head, and you're like, oh, I wonder why I was thinking that, because it's not your thought.
right. It took me forever to realize that with
Yeah.
just stuff popping in my head. And it's like, oh, because I had no clue what claircognizance was.
Mm,
And when I was
yeah.
reading one day a while back, and I'm like, ah,
Oh, that's interesting. So claircognizance is clear knowing.
right.
May as well mention that. And
Yeah,
I always thought I was clairsentient and only clairsentient, which is clear feeling, because
right.
I feel everything and I always have. It's super strong in
Yeah,
me. Um, but I also am very claircognizant
right.
and some clairvoyance, but it isn't what we imagine it
No. And I think a
either.
lot of it is because you see and hear so many people, like in the movies, oh, I see. And you just imagine them coming in like we see one another. And that's not
Yeah,
how it is at all. For
it's
me,
not.
if I see something, it's like bam,
Mhm,
and it's gone as quick
mhm,
as it showed up. So it's like,
yeah. Do
okay.
you see things out and about? Like, my kids used to see spirits standing in their doorway and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I've never had that.
I haven't in a long
Peripheral,
time
maybe?
because
Yeah,
I did it myself because I said I didn't want to see them anymore a long
yeah,
time ago. I
yeah,
used to see them, and I would see them like looking at you, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and so it stopped. And
yeah.
so you got to be careful what you say too. So they'll take you seriously.
It's very true. I mean, we have to understand that we do turn these things on and off. So I know that as a child, I had a lot more
Right,
active, um, clairs, I guess you could say.
right,
My
yeah,
senses were very different as a kid, and as a kid, it was just all natural, so I didn't know it was something,
right,
odd until my mother told me.
yeah,
But, I mean, I would see things, but I always saw them as, like, shadows or whatever. I never really saw anything clearly, so it scared
yeah.
me. I lived in a
Oh
household of
yeah,
parents
I
who were
guess
fighting all
so.
the time, so, and I would hear people's thoughts, and
Yeah,
I just would know things, and I just would respond to them all.
right.
Um, and
And I
then
think that's where a lot of the blockage comes in is when we're younger and the parents teach us that, hey, you're not supposed to do this. So it does put up those blocks, and
mhm, mhm.
you have to knock them down when you get older and want to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's hard to do because you really gotta fish your way back to how that
right.
happened.
And I
Like, I
still
remember.
struggle,
Yeah.
even though, we do this now, there are times I
Oh,
still
yeah.
struggle with that because some of
Well,
them are just so deep.
let's talk about that, because the truth is sometimes we need help getting those messages. Sometimes, like Joelle and I, of course, 'cause we're so connected, we're like, "Dude, this is happening. Got anything on that? You get anything? Let me know if you get
Right,
anything," right? We don't expect that you could just instantaneously tell me, but later when you're free, take a look at this. What's going on here? Like, why is this happening? It isn't
absolutely.
always easy. It just isn't always easy. And especially if it's something close to you, um,
Yeah, it's
with
harder for me to get
a
stuff for
child or
myself.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's rough.
It's funny.
Well, it is. And you know what? I kind of think by design, it's a good thing because
Yeah,
it makes us get out of our comfort zone and ask somebody else, bring somebody else in.
yeah,
And, a lot of my life has been about other people's perspectives are so important. Like, I want to hear them. I may not agree, but I want to know.
right,
So I feel like it's by design because I think anybody who really gets into this work, we go through periods of time where we kind of shut ourselves in.
right.
We're very sensitive. There's a
Yeah,
lot that is overwhelming to us in the world. And so we kind of shut ourselves in. And if we didn't have the need for someone to help us with things, we may not.
right,
Right.
right.
So I kind of see it that way. But
Yeah,
let's get back to what we were supposed to be talking about, which is what's happening.
yeah,
So, where's your fear level? Is the topic
right,
something you're afraid of? Right? Are you expecting a certain outcome and just not accepting
right.
the answer?
And for me, too, is I call it my squirrel brain. I have a family of squirrels living in my head, and they make
Gee.
so much noise, and I just got like 10,000 things on my brain, and I have to come upstairs in this room. I make everybody go downstairs, and it's like, all right, I have to get quiet and really focus and ground myself, and try to quiet the voices in my head. Well, not
Yeah.
voices, but the noise that I have, the
Well,
background,
it's
and
I mean, your voice, my voice was the one that used to keep me squirreled.
yeah, like,
Well, what we also don't realize is sometimes that voice is picking up things from other people. So even though your brain is going over things, sometimes that stuff doesn't even make sense to you, and it really isn't yours.
no,
So sometimes it's important to be like, okay, I'm going to disconnect from anyone around me
right.
because maybe
Well,
maybe some of
for
that's not
me,
mine.
it's like, all right, I need to vacuum. What am I going to cook for dinner? Making the grocery list is like all those things going on that I
Yeah,
need to just stop and break away from so I can connect better
for
and
sure.
like,
So it's a need to clear the mind, a need
right,
to settle in, ground yourself. Grounding is really important too.
yeah,
And to make a list of those things that you're holding in your head so you cannot have to hold it in your head,
right,
but quiet the mind in some
yeah,
way or detach from what's happening.
yeah,
I have had a lot of people say, I can't quiet it. Well, then don't quiet it. Ignore it. Allow it to run in
right,
the background and get
yeah.
front and center with yourself, which isn't easy to achieve
No,
either.
for me, I do like the candle meditation. I can't remember the name. It's got a name where you just stare at the flame for like, I think it's like 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what you're thinking, you just focus on the flame. And that has really helped me tremendously doing that every morning when I come up. And sometimes I think we just kind of have the expectations of, like we talked about, it's going to be the big old booming voice, coming through telling you what you need to know and seeing things how you do normally. And it's not like that because it could be so many different things. It could be like the little thoughts popping in or song lyrics, or for me, it's movie quotes and stuff like that
Right, right.
that
I'm
come
sorry. I
through.
wasn't being rude. I was trying to
No,
Google what that's called, and
I
I
know.
can't even Google
I
it.
know.
Like,
That's why I was trying.
I typed it so wrong, it was telling me how to start a fire. Lord have mercy. So I'm sorry. It
Maybe
did
we
look
can
like I
find
was
it
being rude
later.
whenever that was it.
I know. I should
I
have
know
Googled it
scrying is one of
beforehand.
those things that you like look into crystals, so maybe it's the same kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and
I for the life of me can't remember either. Anyway, we're imperfect. That's just the way that we are.
that is who we are.
Um,
And yeah, because you expect it to come in one way, but it can come in so many different ways. There's not one way that they're going to talk to you. And
mhm. And you can
uh,
get one word,
right,
and that be
right,
your hint,
yeah.
and you're like, "Well, great, thanks."
And when that happens, like I've talked about this before, ask them for clarity.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Can you send me something I can understand? And they will, like I kept
Mhm.
getting like all these feathers and seeing the angel numbers. I mean, it was unreal at one time. And I'm like, I got them, but I don't know what they mean. So I'm like, can y'all send me something that I can understand?
Yeah.
And probably 10 minutes later, it was 3 TikToks in a row about what I needed to know. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you.
Well, and that's
So,
kind of the fun thing, right?
yeah,
Like, they can send us hints, whatever you wanna call them,
right,
through all kinds of different things,
right. Oh, yeah,
So when you see things repeating, that is a sign to pay
yeah,
attention.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
if you can't figure out what that means, like she said, you know, ask,
Go
"Okay, look, I don't understand what this means. I see that this is a sign. I can feel it's some kind of a sign. Can you
Right.
give me something more specific? Can you give
Yeah.
me something that I might understand better?"
Yeah.
They will do that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then again, you have to stay aware.
Yeah. And pay attention and, because it won't always be a TikTok. And
No, yeah.
because me, they
No,
need to
but
like knock me in the head, like, here, hello, pay attention.
I think we're all that way. I mean,
Yeah.
I I had a hard time for a long time, and I know that with my guides, trust was huge. Huge,
Right.
huge, huge. I had to figure out how to trust what I couldn't hear, what I couldn't see,
Yeah.
and I think that's a really important thing, but I also found that things opened up so much more when I learned to trust myself.
Right.
Stop questioning
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah.
Accept what I feel is like the first second you get something and you think,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's a sign." And then your brain goes, "It's not a sign, it's just a coincidence, blah, blah, blah," and it starts going.
Right.
All done. Back up to
That
when
was
your
me too.
first instinct. So really paying attention and catching those first
Yeah.
instincts, super important. And then if you don't understand it, again, ask.
Oh, yeah.
If there's something
I'm
over
the world's worst at trusting myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah.
Well, most
And
of us
it's hard.
are.
I mean, it is. It does
Yeah,
get hard. And sometimes
yeah.
it's like, sometimes the messages that come through are kind of like, am I making this up? Am I
Oh,
crazy?
yeah.
It's
Well, it feels
it's
that
hard to
way.
get over that sometimes.
The first few times you get a message from a spirit for someone,
Right.
and you're like, "Am I making this shit? I can't." It
Right.
feels like you're making it up, but
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah.
Like, why would I make it up?
Yeah.
I'm not in my ego. I'm not
Yeah.
hoping to bring, some amazing message to people. I
Right.
tend to doubt my ability to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I making this up? Like, this doesn't feel real. And then I
Yeah.
saw a professional medium on a stage at a show who said, "I'm telling you all, if it feels like you're making it up, it's real because
Oh,
that's
wow.
part of it." She was
Yeah.
like, "That is part of it." So a lot of it is really just picking out how you receive. I mean,
Right.
there's so many ways. You can hear, you can physically hear. I've had
Right.
one auditory message sent to me. One.
I don't think I've
You
ever
can
had any.
you can hear it outside yourself, you hear it inside your head.
Right.
It can be in your voice, it could be in another voice.
Yeah.
Um, signs,
Yeah.
just feathers, numbers, TikToks,
Yep.
something that repeats, something that
Right.
repeats. If you keep getting repeated things, then your guys are trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
But you gotta trust it,
Yeah.
and I get messages from
They're not
people all the
crazy.
time that are like, they need to trust their own stuff.
Yeah.
I'm working with someone right now, and I'm like, "Girl, you are so intuitive. It's all coming. You just have to trust it. You have to pick it out and trust it."
Mhm.
Like that's a huge part of it. But because we're human and we can't see it, we can't touch it, and it's not
Right.
tangible, we have a hard time trusting it. But even science is proving this stuff is real.
Yeah. Right.
So, energy healing,
I
that's
know.
been proven.
I
Like,
know. I mean, more and more
yeah.
hospitals are, welcoming
Yes.
Reiki in,
Exciting.
and I'm like, "I love that so much." It's like, "Yes." So that's my go-to when people are like, "Oh, that's not real." And I'm like, "Then you might
Yeah.
wanna Google the list of hospitals that"
Yeah.
I mean, like the Mayo Clinic, Chicago, I mean,
Oh, the
major
ones in
hospital,
Oregon were. Yeah, I was
you
shocked.
know?
I was shocked.
It's like,
I
yeah,
knew somebody, my realtor sold my house in Oregon when I moved,
yeah,
She was a death doula, and
Yeah,
she would go to the hospital. The hospital hired her. She was literally
yeah,
on staff at the hospital for that. And there were several people I knew that, went and ran energy,
yeah,
for patients in the hospital. I was
right.
shocked, you
Yeah,
know. Salem, Oregon is not, uh, front and forward in the spiritual
right.
community, it's actually, their communities were pretty fractured, but
Yeah,
it was amazing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's actually happening." And I'm seeing more and more reports of that, like more and more videos where,
right.
all of this is really opening up. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's not our topic. Here we are talking about it again. What the other thing, one of the things that came to mind that I'd really like to mention is that if you are interacting in whatever way with a guide and you get a negative message, that is not your guide, and you send whatever that is away. You call an Archangel Michael or someone and you say, "Take this away. This is not my guide. I only want to speak to highlight beings,
Yeah,
period." And your guides will honor that and help you with that as
yeah,
much as they can. We have gatekeeper guides, we have protector guides,
yeah.
we have a whole slew.
And you don't
We
have to know them by name. We talked about this
no.
before. You don't have
Mm-mm.
to know their names, just
Yeah.
call them
No, you
in,
really don't. Yeah.
you know.
Are there other ways you can think of that maybe we didn't, other things that we should mention? Because I feel like I'm forgetting
One
something.
of the things that really helped me, and you suggested this to me last year, was the
Oh,
automatic writing.
oh, yeah.
That helped me tremendously, because I would do it. I would do my daily card pull, and I would look at it, and I'm like, have my little notebook, and I was like, okay, what does this mean? And I start off writing, whatever, and then, oh, I wish I would have brought my notebook, because you could tell when
Oh, the
spirit
writing.
took over because my handwriting changed.
You
And
can, yeah.
yeah, and even my husband, he came in, I had my notebook sitting down, and he's like, "Who wrote that?" I was like, "Well, I did." He's like, No, you didn't." I was like, "Well, not technically me, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
So that
I
really
mean,
helped
yeah,
a
and
lot.
things like that. I mean, understand, like we've taken, classes and stuff on channeling, but before we did that,
Yeah,
we were both channeling.
yeah,
You are a channel. I don't care who you are. If you ever receive a message, you will understand you are a channel. Now, everybody channels in a very different way. I
yeah,
started out because I couldn't in any way connect. I was just so afraid of all of it
right,
that I couldn't really connect auditorily or, in a lot of ways at first. And I started with channeling by typing
yeah,
because I have this inner child part that I still haven't worked with that was really degraded about her handwriting.
right.
I literally was failed in classes and stuff because of my
Wow.
handwriting. They were just so hard on me.
Yeah,
And so I can't do that. Like I can't get out of the way.
yeah,
And you have to be able to just get out of the way. You have to be
yeah,
like, "Okay," whatever message comes through, and you just start writing and allow them to kind of come through.
yeah.
And I can't do that writing. So if you have a similar issue, because I can't be the only one, I will not accept that. If you have a similar issue where you
Right.
can't really write and do it, try typing if you're a typist, if you type.
Yeah,
'Cause I learned to type when I started work, and that was super helpful. I got some really beautiful messages.
yeah,
And then I would catch
yeah,
myself, like, I'd be typing, and then I'd catch myself thinking a little, and then I'd be like, "Wait a minute, is that right?" And they'd be like, "No," because I had the yes and no thing.
yeah,
They'd be like, "No," and I just back it up, do it again, you know? But it's, I a lot of receiving, like I said, we're all channels, and if we're receiving, we're channels. We're being a channel,
absolutely.
and in the moments of being a channel, we have to get out of the way.
Right.
We can't be thinking. We can't be hoping for something.
Yeah,
We can't be thinking, "Oh, I wonder if they're trying to say this." No, none of that can be
just step back.
happening.
Right.
You've gotta step back.
It's
Yes.
like if you practice Reiki, it's like, you channel Reiki, you don't think it, you just do it. And that's kinda how I had to look at the channeling,
Yeah.
different guides to come in. Just pretend you're at Reiki and you're not doing anything, you're not thinking, and it's like it's funny because sometimes they'll be searching for the word because we can't put it in for them, if you will.
Right.
And it's yeah.
Right. You will see that my stuff is, I don't care. I am simple. And
Right.
I don't have a huge vocabulary. I don't want to, like, I just don't. So, um, my messages are wordy, really, some of them, but simple because they have to use our vocabulary.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they can bring something in, but most of the time, it just means that at some point that was in your brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're coming through us using
Yeah.
our abilities to speak and know things. So anyhow,
Yeah.
I
Speaking of no,
I'm sorry.
I was like, speaking of that, one of
I have
mine is wanting to come through. Oh,
Archangel Jermail has been waiting patiently.
oh, okay. Well, he can go first then.
Who do
It's
you have? Do you have
Toth
somebody?
is wanting to come through.
Ah,
Oh, but he's been here, like, but he's not impatient. He's like, whatever.
uh, okay. Let's pull him in then. Let's do we go with Jermail? Jermail is just kind of chomping at the bit, and I didn't even know he was going to come in because I really didn't ask that question. But
Yeah.
then while we were talking, I kept feeling him like, "Excuse me,
Right.
I have things to say."
I got stuff to say.
So Archangel Jermail is my master teacher, which is really interesting. When I read the description of what he's about in the uh, Archangel
Yeah.
Oracle by Diana Cooper, I was like, holy cow, that practically talks about me.
Really.
So no wonder he's my master teacher. Like, I'm like, oh, that's funny. So anyhow, let's see what he has to say about this topic. So sorry, bear with me one sec here. Yes, I am Jermail, as you refer to me, and I am this one's guide, one of her many guides. We would love to interject a bit on this topic. Uh, the the reasons that you don't hear us, and a lot of the time, this is simply you don't recognize us. You're hearing us. You're picking these things up. Most people do. They just think it's coincidental and they dismiss us quite often, which we fully understand and we are not easily offended by. We will keep trying if you keep asking. But one of the main things that we need you to understand is that you need to ask us. You need to sit down, you need to ground your energy. You've got to get yourself centered. You have to let go of what's happening in the world around you. Find a nice, safe, sacred space or a space in nature where the trees and the elementals may be able to help you, but get clear. That is a difficult thing for a human being. You have a lot happening in your world, but we need you to understand that although we communicate with you often, if you're having a difficult time hearing us, you've got to just clear the space and you have to get into a neutral energy. You cannot want certain things to be the outcome. You have to step back, as these two have said. And this one calls it get into observer mode, where you are just observing the situation. You're presented the questions ahead of time, and now you are quiet, you are centered, you are not distracted. Devices are off. Nothing can pull you back. Allow yourself to just sit calmly within yourself, which is a practice in itself. You have to practice that. We are always there. We are always guiding. But if you really want to connect and you want to increase your connection, it is about stillness, which we spoke about recently with another channel is stillness. It's so important to learn how to bring in stillness. Now, once you have a practice, And we would say Joelle is better at this because she will sit and practice daily. But if you have a practice and you do this practice for, for everyone it's different, but a week to 2 weeks in a row where every single day you do this, every single day you do this. Maybe you do it twice a day for a while. Once you've got that down, you learn the feeling of observer, of stepping back and of opening up because we need you to open to us. And once you've done that, once you've gotten yourself into that practice, you can call that energy in at any moment and you will connect with us better. It's about stillness. It's about practice. It's about trust. So if you have someone who maybe is a little ahead of you or someone who has really good intuition for other people, you can use them to confirm. This one likes confirmation so much. So if you have someone that you can contact to be like, hey, I asked this question, or hey, I asked a yes or no question. Do you get a yes or a no to this question? That is so helpful. Run it by someone else, maybe without telling them what your answer was, but say, hey, I'm asking this question if you want to give them the question. And don't tell them your response. Just share and let them bounce back to you with what they get. Now, it may be different because everyone has a different mask or a different persona that they're in. And of course, all of your filters from humanity are going to play a part as well. But you just intuitively decide what part of these things are correct. But that's a whole other subject. Stillness, super important. We really, really, really suggest that you are having a practice. So once you've done this for a few weeks, you can easily take a break and sit somewhere for a minute and open up. You'll be able to just slide into that energy that is higher vibration and connecting and open. And that is why we suggest a practice often. And people will tell you it's so hard to have a practice. And it is, we get that. But that is where you will expand your connection to your guides. They are right there with you at all times. The moment you think, gosh, I really need some advice, you have many guides just hanging around waiting for you to ask. The advice that they've given about asking for different, different, I'm losing the word, different suggestions, different, we seem to have lost that word altogether. Your guides are sending you messages. So when you are not understanding the message, we would say to ask for more specific, ask for new messages. If you're getting a feather every day and you really know it's a guide, you know that it's a sign and you have no idea what it means, ask them to expand, ask them to show you something different about whatever that subject is. They will do that. We try really hard to work with you. Understand that there are questions we will not answer. And those questions are questions that will change your path, that will decide for you what to do. We can't do that. That is your free will, and we will not, cannot interfere with that. We will try to guide you to what may be better for you, but we won't say, no, you can't do that, or no, you can't do this, because those are all experiences that you learn from. So this is really what I came to discuss today. That was weird. We absolutely totally lost words. Like,
Right.
at one point there was no word, and he's like,
earlier.
I can see him like scanning, and he's like, what is that word? I still don't know what the word should have been. It's very interesting.
Earlier. Like, hey, let's give him an example.
Brain fog. Here's a good example. Oh my Lord. I don't call on him enough, and he tells me that.
Yeah.
I get messages from other people all the time saying, what if your guides really wants you to call on him more? And I'm like, I know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just don't talk to him that much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was funny when he talked about my practice, but Only reason I did
Yeah.
that is
Well,
because
because I don't. I'm terrible.
I did the practice daily to make myself better.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I
No,
wasn't
and they love that.
confident
I
in
don't.
myself. That's why I did. You're great at channeling, but me, I'm not confident still. And I mean, I'm better,
Well, I
but
don't know how confident I am,
yeah,
but he said that because I don't, and he's
yeah.
making a point with me. He was, like, calling me out, really. "Joelle does a practice every day, isn't that great?"
Well, not every day anymore. For a while there, I
Well, I
was,
know,
but
but
that's where it kicked my butt. So
yeah, they do come to me all the time, and they're like, "Really? Like, can you, like, do more of this?"
right.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
But you've been better though. I mean, you sent me some videos. You've been doing good.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm getting myself back on track.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They kinda kicked me in the butt.
yeah, and they will.
Yeah. Yes, they have me doing attunements to
Yeah,
stuff, so they're, gonna be really fun.
and they're
Anyway,
wonderful too. Ooh,
let's talk to
okay.
is that right, Toth?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Toth?
my. What are you? What is he? He's my
Just
doctor teacher. That's right.
Dr.
Okay,
Peter. Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot. I know. Yeah,
He's
to
pretty
help with
cool.
the learning and stuff. Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah.
So I love his energy.
Alright, let's see what he has to say.
He's very straightforward too. It's funny.
Mhm.
Yes, I am Toth, and you two have pretty much covered all that is for this subject, but you need to focus more on the fear. And many people do have that. But what many fail to realize, like you mentioned, they are already channels and have been in many lifetimes. You can step back from the fear. You can call in your guides as well to help release these fears. And if you have trouble, you can, like they have suggested, call someone else to help you with releasing these fears. As this one channeled the other day with Joan of Arc, this is no longer the dark ages as you humans called it. This is the beginning of the light age. It is time for you all to realize your true power. It is nothing to fear. And I have also mentioned in another channel with this one, at night when you go to rest, you can call in me or your guides to send you to the halls of learning to help you reclaim the knowledge that you think you have lost. It is still within you. You just need to uncover it again because the knowledge has never been lost. It has always been within you. And once you find them, it will be much, much easier for you to have the trust in yourself and your abilities because they are not gifts because everyone has them. They are your innate abilities. You are born with them, you've never lost them. They are just buried in some of you, and you need to bring them forward. Do not worry what other people may think because it does not matter. That is their issue, it is not yours. And we have talked before as well of how protected you are. You came here to this planet at this time for a reason, and it is to reclaim your power, your true power, your true abilities, and to show others what they are capable of as well. Do not forget this. Remember, you are capable of great, fantastic things. All the things you dream of, you are capable of them. It is just a matter of remembering. And that is all I have for now.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Whoa.
I realized something. while he was talking, because he was saying the fear is such a big thing, and we really haven't focused on that. We hate to
Right.
focus on fear, but the truth is, we could give you a really quick, easy way to set up a container
Right.
of protection with the archangels,
Yeah.
and or you can do something of your own. But it's important to set up a sacred space, really. So
Yes.
if you're going to have a practice, part of your practice is going to need to be that you call in, I don't know what Rachel calls a spirit circle.
Yeah.
Um, I used to have, well, I still do. I still use it sometimes. Well, I use it with both, but
Yeah.
I have like where I have this container I made that I imagined was like a box of like golden light,
Yeah.
and in it was the things that really brought me peace. And
Right.
that was like waterfalls and butterflies and trees and a nice bench to sit on. Like it was just, and I don't see well. So I just, these are the things I like, right?
Yeah.
And the things that are in there. So the energy of how that makes me feel would be in that
Right.
container. And I would always call in Archangel Michael also to help with protection further. But when you set up a container of any form for you to have your practice in, that's your protection for the divine communication.
Yeah.
And I always said it with the intention that there was no interference with any of the divine communication, that we stayed with the highlight beings and only the highlight beings. And, if a spirit needed to come in, they needed to have crossed over, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you
And it
can,
doesn't have to be big and fancy,
hmm,
simple, you know.
no, and once you've designed it, you just go, okay, well, I'm bringing down my sacred healing space
Right.
around me and whoever you're working with or whatever, right?
Right.
Like we do with these videos. These are
Right.
protected. You're protected right now. You have all been included, watching it during live or after, have all been included in our protections that we
Yeah.
put out. Do you want to talk about the spirit circle wording? Do you have that? Or do you
Yeah,
want me to
well,
just
actually, I kind of have it memorized a little bit.
right?
I have the quick one. I don't do the long one.
I don't either.
It's Dear Archangels Michael, Ariel, Raphael, and Gabriel, please stand on all four corners of this room. Then it's Archangel Sandalphon, please protect us from below. Archangel Metatron, please protect us from above and keep us all safe within. I call in all of my spirit guides and helpers of high vibration, all of my galactical and elemental friends and helpers of the highest vibration to come in and help me. And if you have an altar, if you don't have to, I do just because I think it's cute and pretty and I like it. You want the elements at the four corners as well. I call in earth, air, fire, and water to come in and guard me in this space and keep me safe. And that's it. It's
Okay,
simple.
so she called that the short version.
Yeah.
That was much more thorough than what I even do, and I'm just gonna share that because I'm simple and it still works.
Right.
So, I love that
Yeah.
actually, and I love that you're calling in the elements and,
Yeah.
those pieces. I know that to some extent each angel brings in those elements,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I guys, I'm the simplest person in town. So if you're like me, then you can simply say, Archangel Michael, Ariel, Raphael, and Gabriel, please come in and stand in all four corners of this space, keeping us all safe within. I call in Archangel Sandalphon to protect us from below, and I call Archangel Metatron to protect us from above. I ask for the energies to be harmonized and cleared and fully protected for divine communication with highlight beings. I'm done. That's it for me. So just so you know, you can go all the way
Right.
or you could do a short version if you have to.
Whatever you're comfortable with, and
Yeah,
it's
there's no right or wrong.
no,
No, no.
no.
I love that she does all that. Maybe one day I don't know. Who knows?
But it is the short version from Rachel because her
Rachel's
other
is
one,
much longer. Oh yeah.
this is
You
the
want to
condensed.
learn a longer version, head on over to Sound Waves Heal
Yeah,
because she's
and I
got
did
some
do the
great
longer
stuff.
version when I
Mhm.
first started, and I was like, "Okay." But then once I got comfortable and I'm like, "Okay, I'm good. I can do." And it's like
I would
Rachel said, the more you do it, it
yeah.
stays in your space,
Yeah.
so it gets stronger each time. And Yeah, you
And
don't
it's the
always
same with any
need.
practice, right? And
Yeah,
that's why the guides are like, practice, because the more you practice, the stronger it gets. I mean,
right,
it's true of physical things too. The more you practice typing, the better you're going to get at it,
right,
right? Like it's just how it is. It's a
absolutely,
it's a muscle of a form, right? And you got to get to where there's some muscle memory,
right,
and that's like he was talking, like Jeremiah was saying, like you can slide easily into that energy if you've practiced it for a few weeks in a row.
right.
Like, if you keep practicing at it. Now,
Oh,
that's not to say that you won't have a hard time once in a while. I have a hard time sometimes. Sometimes I am just not able to get myself in this space, and I'm like, "Okay, well, now's not the time.
yeah, right.
Move on."
And sometimes they
Yeah.
won't let you,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
And
But, the fear thing, we have nothing to fear. But I don't know. I have pushed the limits on many occasions, and I'm sure each of you have in one way or another in your life. And you're like, gosh, I didn't get hurt, or gosh,
mhm,
I felt protected. Like, we are so protected,
yeah,
and even like people fearing what other people are going to think. I really did fear that myself. And then I decided, who cares? And I had
right,
to start getting online, and I was doing lives regularly. And I was scared that somebody was going to come at me in the comments, and I didn't know how to deal with that while I was live.
right.
Out of I did this weekly for years. Out of all the times I was live on Facebook public,
Yeah,
one person, one
yeah,
person came on and told me I was ripping people off. And I
yeah.
said, I remember his name was Jeff. And I said, Jeff, did you not read the part that this is free? Did you have a question? Like, I'm not ripping anybody off. I'm here doing this as a service to help
Right,
you. But that's all I was doing, right? It was just funny. But I decided that I didn't need to have that happen,
right.
and that didn't even happen. That was years in. Like, it's probably 2 years into me doing it every week
Wow.
where that happened. Like, they will keep things from happening if you don't need the experience.
Right.
But had I really focused on that fear, they
Yeah,
would have been all over my comments.
right.
Now, I did stop doing it publicly because of the scammers, because
Yeah,
they started coming on and commenting to every person
the
and
woodwork.
pulling people into DMs. And that, I think, I just felt like that was my responsibility to stop. So I
Right.
went into a group instead. But anyhow, but the fear, we really don't have anything to fear. And who cares? What difference does it make what somebody's thinking?
Yeah,
If there's some troll that comes on and says some really mean thing, is that somebody that you would ask for advice from?
right,
Is it somebody you know? Does it matter?
right.
And I'll tell you what, the block thing
Like you
works
said,
really
it's their
good.
problem, not yours. So I love that.
It is. It absolutely
Yeah,
is. And there's ways to block them.
yeah,
So you just see ya.
right.
You don't
Absolutely.
have to take abuse from people. And really, I'm going to tell you, one of the ways they teach us to set boundaries is that
Yeah,
people coming at you.
right.
If you need to set boundaries and you're too affected by what other people think, you are going to have that experience.
Yeah,
It's all a lesson. And it's just a lesson in, hey, are you going to put up with it?
right,
And I'm like hot on the block button. I see somebody that's scamming somebody on somebody else's post. I
right,
can go block that person. I don't want them on mine.
right.
Like, anyhow, that's how we set up, the the ways to not have that happen to you.
Right. Mm-mm.
So, you have anything about fear that would be helpful? I
No.
love to put Joelle on the spot, you guys. It's the funniest thing. And
All the time.
I'm not trying
You
to
know,
do
some
that.
mind goes blank. I can have a thought and it just flies out my ear.
I know. And we're kind of practicing that, honestly, because I do the same thing. Like, you
Yeah,
can say something like that, I'll be like, I don't even know my name anymore.
right.
So, um,
All I can
we just
think
want to
of
make sure that there isn't something that we're forgetting or something that would be helpful. But, um, I mean, they did say we pretty much covered
gratitude.
everything.
Gratitude. Even when they aren't speaking. I got to check my notes. We didn't talk about gratitude.
We didn't.
No. Always
Gratitude is,
have gratitude. Yeah.
you know what I do? It's so funny. I do the funniest things because I'll be like looking for parking spot and I'm like, okay, it's 110 degrees outside. I really
Right.
don't want to walk a mile. Like, hey, parking gods, I'm just talking about guides, help me get a good
Right.
parking spot. And if they do, I'm like, thanks, guys.
All the
Thank
time.
you.
All the
If
time.
you think you got a message, thanks for that.
Right.
Thank you.
Abs absolutely.
So
Mhm.
helpful. It opens something up in our energy.
And I notice, and I know I keep going back to my Reiki, but if I'm when I first started, when I'd have my hands on somebody and I could feel something and I feel it release and I'd be like, "Oh, thank you." Boy, it
Yes.
just poured in and it's like, "Oh, wow, okay," so I
Yeah.
started doing that even when I couldn't really, I'm like, thank y'all," and they're like, "Oh, yes, here, here, here,"
It does.
just
It opens something up in us.
yes.
It's gratitude is like
Right.
one step down from authenticity, you
Right.
know? It's so helpful. Like,
Oh,
I think authenticity is like the number one way to be open is to
right,
just be who you are.
right,
You people like you, people don't like you. You are who you are. Do with good intention, you're fine.
right.
And,
And that's
you
how
know,
we got this channel.
it it is. It's Rachel's idea, but, you know,
Well, I mean, we're us. We're
too
not
much.
trying to
But
be
that's how we're here.
right.
She's like, "I think you guys are funny. I think you should do this together, and you could just be you and share what you know or whatever you think of." And, we were like, "Okay, here we are."
Right?
Anyhow, if, any of you have questions, if there's something that we've said that has struck something or you have more questions, we'd love to hear from you. Like,
Absolutely.
leave a comment, contact us in some way. We're happy to, answer
Right.
whatever we can question-wise. We're
We
open.
yeah,
Anyhow, probably a little too open, but we're happy to help if there's something we can do.
absolutely.
Joelle offers a ton of just beautiful energy healing sessions.
Mhm.
She's at, Celestial Whispers Healing.
Healing.com, yeah.
I need to
Oop,
get this
where is it?
off.
Trying to find them. Where are they? I don't have them.
Yeah, so we moved over to,
My
Joelle's StreamYard, and I haven't got everything in there that needs to be in there, but it's on the screen. Joelle,
oh,
her
yeah.
website is celestialwhispershealing.com. She offers a ton of her healing is amazing.
Oh, well,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm over at
Ooh, my
divinetruthhealing.com.
lord.
I also have some amazing healing, but I also work with people as to how to heal their inner traumas and, some of life wounds that just get in the way. So if
Mhm.
you're feeling lost or you have, I come from depression and anxiety, like clinical,
And her
lifelong.
healing pods are absolutely wonderful. Do a pod.
I do like healing
Change your
pods are
life.
so and they're affordable. I have affordable things
Yes.
on there. I mean, not everything's super affordable, but I'm
Right.
still not super expensive either.
Right.
But the healing pods, the mini sessions, those things are all really affordable. I think we both keep our stuff pretty affordable
We
and
try
have
to.
options,
Yeah.
so, we're happy to help in any way we can, you know. I do some kind of, you know, work with teaching you how to heal things and how
And we
to,
both have
you know,
videos on our YouTube channels too. If,
yeah,
you know,
we do each have individual, um YouTube channels. Mine's Divine Truth Healing,
mine's
and hers is
Celestial
Celestial Whispers
Whispers.
Healing.
So,
So you can find us on those too. If I was a little more tech savvy, we'd have those on the screen right now, but we don't. Anyhow, we've been going for a while, so thank you for watching.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate any comments or questions you might have, and we will see you next week, Friday.
Yep.
Um,
What is
I'm not
today?
sure what our topic is.
Oh, it's the August 1st. Ah, shoot, I lost it. I had
August
it and I lost it.
Oh, well, August 1st, we'll be back on, and you can check the, live tab on our
Right,
YouTube, and you can actually set for notifications. If you just click on
right.
the next upcoming one, you can set notifications so that it'll tell you, as well, as a reminder, and, it's there. Have a
Hmm.
great weekend,
Thank y'all
everybody.
for watching.
Sending love to each of you and gratitude. Thank you.
Bye.